Hey everybody, welcome back to another movie review. Hope you guys been enjoying the content on the channel as of late. I just got done watching Inside, directed by a name that I will try not to pronounce because I have no idea how to pronounce that thing. Not sure if this is a directorial debut or not 100% sure. Um, Written and directed by said director and starring Willem Dafoe, who plays a thief, con artist, basically a thief. He goes to rob an artist's house and robs a Pacific painting. And he can't find the Pacific painting, and everything goes into lockdown mode, and he is trapped inside the house. Hence why the name is called Inside. And slowly but surely, Willem Dafoe's character starts to fall and descend into some form of madness. And ultimately, that is what the film is about. It is about a descent into madness. But I think that the added layer about Insanity that I found to be interesting was its point on artistry. You know, where does creativity stem from? Um, and I like that the ultimately it's speaking a lot of truth in that creativity is spawned from insanity, um, and I like that they approach that because a lot of the film is showing Willem Dafoe's attempts to get out of the house, and because he is trapped and he has very limited material, he is forced to become creative, and thus his expressive side and his artist side start to take hold of him amidst falling into madness. So, um, and I found that to be very interesting, and I think that ultimately the angle taken and the tone, which I found to be very inspired by the likes of Alfred Hitchcock. I think that the confinement and just the attitude of the film reminded me a lot of Hitchcock, and a little bit of a hint of Bergman. There's a film that I'm not sure if any of you guys saw. It's called Persona. Really great film. Um, I got like little hints of that as well towards the end. And I liked that combination, and I just liked the aura of the film. It's just very calm, but yet, you know, somewhat unnerving because of the progression of the descent. Um, and of course, Willem Dafoe is great. I don't think anyone's gonna ever down or talk down about Willem Dafoe. He's great here. I think he really is what keeps the film afloat. But I really think that the tone and just the approach to the just the angle taken on insanity, and ultimately, you know, showing that insanity is the origin point of creativity and artistry. It's an interesting little place to put this film. Unfortunately, though, for me, that's all the film brings to the table, and I said somewhat unnerving. That to me was also an issue because for a film that is about insanity and about creativity, I was hoping that the film would also progress to a little bit more of an arresting attitude and an arresting environment. But it kind of sits in subtle and pretty mellow, and to an extent as you move on, kind of expecting hollow grounds. Um, I wish it went a little bit further than that. You know, I was hoping that we would get not to like, you know, lighthouse levels to, you know, to get to bring an example. Um, but I wish we got somewhere to that point where it was like it was getting more and more crazy. Um, and I guess the reasoning for that I can see is perhaps the director wanted to go for a little bit more of a realistic approach for how this person might fall. And to that if that is the reasoning, I can see that. But for me personally, I would have liked a little bit more of a of a disturbance, you know, felt throughout the film. Um, and also aesthetically, I wish it was a little bit different. It's a little bit sharp for me, and I think that it kind of makes it look fairly dull. You know, it's sharp in image, but dull um, in overall like language. You know, I wish that it was a little more grainy. Maybe having like an aspect ratio, like the boxed aspect ratio, perhaps would have made things a little bit more interesting. Um, a little more creativity with the technicalities I felt would have been more beneficial, because the other side of things are really working for me. Like I said, with Dafoe's performance and the attitude of the film, and I like the angle being taken. Um, I think that over like technicalities and just overall progression and you know, a real need to build things up further. I think that that's really what hinders the film for me, because it's ultimately a solid film. I did enjoy it. I think that like I said, overall the attitude of the film is what really kept me interested, like the behavior of it all. But and Defoe, obviously. Um, but I wish that it was a little bit more crazy. I wish that it went a little bit more crazier, and I wish that visually it had a little bit more going on. Um, but I like this Hitchcockian like approach. I love what Defoe is doing. Like Defoe, like I love because it does get funny, but it's intentionally funny because you're seeing him become more and more crazy. And Defoe just sells that. I mean, we've seen that before with him in The Lighthouse. He can do crazy, and um, and like overall, I did enjoy myself. I just felt a little let down by its visual sensibilities and its progression. I felt just like I wish it had a little more meat to the bone in terms of its visuals, because I wish that we had like more of a disturbance felt and more of an arresting feeling. Like I wanted to feel more like tense, but I felt pretty calm watching it, and I feel like that's kind of an issue, especially with addressing insanity and all that. Um, and I do like that they, make a point to all of Willem Dafoe's creations. Also, within that, if you view it from a certain point of view, it's also an artistic expression at some point. I like that spin on that at some point in the film. Um, but like I said, I think that a more of a point um, to getting a little bit more crazier as things went on, and having a little bit more of a stronger visual sense, I think would have really enhanced the film more. Because as it stands, it's tonally driven. It's has a really great performance at the center of it, and I like thematically speaking what the film is about. But I think that it doesn't really keep hold of you. Thematically speaking, it doesn't really hold on to you throughout the whole film. What really keeps you interested is its tone and the performance. So I feel in enhancing its themes, I feel a stronger visuals, and more of a commitment to, to not necessarily shock you, but just make it more crazy. There were hints at it, like Willem Dafoe was wearing little crazy costumes at some point. I wish we had more of that, because I feel like it would have enhanced a little bit more of the idea at play. Because as it stands, it's good, but it could have been great, and I feel like that's kind of the feeling that I got out of it. It's like, this is pretty, like my thought about it when I was watching it was that this is pretty cool, but there's definitely room for more. So I would recommend you guys see it. I think it's pretty good, but I definitely think that there is room for improvement, and definitely could have been greater than what we got. So, but you guys want to know your thoughts in the comment section below. Did you guys like Inside? Did you guys not like Inside? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And that's going to be it for this review, guys. Thank you guys for watching. We're going to have more reviews and topic videos in the future, so stay tuned for those. I have a little bit of an older video that's going to be next after this video. Something to do with like theaters in general. It's kind of an older video, but I just wanted to put it up, so hope you guys enjoy that video. But that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know your thoughts about the movie, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.